TsubakiSwagg, and I am coming to you with a review of Kill la Kill. How I've missed the show. It ran away from me for like 2 weeks. It feels like a month. But finally they came out with their new episode, which is episode 13, if I remember correctly. The title will be in this general area. But anyways, so pretty much this one picked up where the last one left off at. Of course, Satsuki is officially launching the raid on the other three countries, well, not other three countries, the other three like regions in their country, which is Kobe, Kyoto, and Asaka. If I can remember correctly, I'll put that in this general area as well. But anyways, so they're officially doing the raid on the school. And they show, of course, the Elite Four the Elite Four are leading the raids in the three countries. So they're putting together their forces and getting everything ready. And of course, all of them are still in the Elite Four because Satsuki understands, like, she pretty much made them fight Ryuko, not necessarily to whether or not they're going to lose their spot or continue to be in the Elite Four. It was more to learn about her Kamui Senketsu, which is understandable. So of course they're still in the Elite Four, even though they don't have their original Goku uniforms anymore. But from what they learned from fighting Ryuko, they're using it towards making better Goku uniforms for everyone. But the Elite Four are going to be in uniforms like everybody else is for the time being until the higher up ones are fixed. So anyways, after that they show Satsuki's mom. They show her talking to her people about, like, she pretty much asked them what is clothing, and they say clothing is skin, because of course they go back to like Adam and Eve when he ate the forbidden fruit and he saw that he finally understood that he was naked, so he covered himself. So they went on to a whole spiel about clothes and everything, and Satsuki came up, and of course her mother shines bright like a rainbow. She was shining too, which kind of caught me off guard a little bit. But anyways, Satsuki came to talk to her mom about Harame, and there was one part, like, when they cut to Satsuki talking to her mom, and her mom is like fondling her. It was, anyways. So she was talking to her mom, and she was like, so what the matters of school are supposed to be handled under my discretion, so why was Harame sent? And her mom was like, well, I had no choice, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, well, whatever happens is my business, pretty much. And her mom was like, understood, so do as you please. And Satsuki was talking to her mom about the raids and everything, and her mom said she already knew about it, and she had read her plans or whatever about doing the raids on the other regions in the country, so that way they could get their uniforms into pretty much every region in Japan, well, every school in Japan. So during all of that, well, after that, they show Ryuko, and Ryuko is pretty much like down and out in her, like laying in bed in her room. She's been laying in there since her conversation with Satsuki, and pretty much she won't put on Senketsu, and she won't talk to anybody, she won't eat anything. She's just kind of been laying there, and Mako was talking to her teacher about that, and it just got to the point where Ryuko wasn't doing anything. She wouldn't even look at Senketsu, nor would she talk to him. And of course her Mako's family noticed that, like her mom, her dad, and her brother noticed that she wasn't even getting out of bed, so her mom tried to fix her something to eat, and she wouldn't eat anything. And of course there was hilariousness going on with Mako's brother and her dad, because they were really stupid. Of course the dog was in there too. I can never remember his name. That's really sad. Anyways, so her mom was trying to get her out of bed, and she couldn't get her to even get up. and Ryuko lay back down. And then Mako came across this guy named Nagita, whom said that it was because of Ryuko's like rebellion. It inspired him to want to pretty much put Satsuki's rule to an end and let people that go to the school actually have a say-so in what they do and not just put on uniforms and fight for her. But Nagita had been like expelled from the school pretty much, and the disciplinary committee were like coming after him pretty much. So he picked up Mako and made her run to Ryuko's side. And when they popped up, Ryuko didn't want to talk to him, and he was pretty much telling her that she needs to get up and put on her uniform and fight for the school again like she had done originally. But of course Ryuko wouldn't do it because she said she wasn't going to fight for anybody else's sake. She wants to fight for her own sake, which the only reason why she came to the school was to figure out who killed her father. So Nagita got mad, and well, he was angry because Ryuko wasn't going to help, and pretty much he said that if she wasn't going to do it, he was going to do something, and she had inspired him. So the next day when they went to school, Nagita pretty much came into the girls' bathroom while Mako was washing her hands, and Mako was like, "Oh, so you're allowed to be in school now, blah blah blah." And they were walking, and he pretty much, Nagita pretty much told Mako that he was going to hand out papers, even though she could possibly get expelled too, but he was going to hand out papers telling people the truth about Satsuki. So he started handing out papers, and out of nowhere Gamagori comes up, and the disciplinary committee comes up to fight, well, pretty much get Nagita, and like he goes and fights them while Mako is trying to run away, and Gamagori snatches her up, of course, and pretty much makes her work in the not assembly line, but the line to put their supplies into the trucks so they can get ready for the raid. So after all that, Nagita pretty much comes back to the house while, like, before that, Ryuko was talking to Senketsu about, like, she wasn't afraid to wear him because Senketsu asked her if she was afraid to even put him on again, and she said she wasn't afraid of him, she was more afraid of herself because she couldn't even control herself. And if Mako hadn't came and snapped her out of her state that she was in, that something really bad could have happened, and she doesn't know what would have happened if it hadn't been for that. But Senketsu was like, pretty much like, you stopped under your own willpower, and I have no fears as to you being able to control yourself. So, and then Nagita came up, and the disciplinary committee was right behind him, and they snatched him up and was like beating him up and everything, and Ryuko decided she needed to put on her uniform so she could help him. So she went to go help him, of course, and she used her finishing blow, which took out the Goku uniforms on the disciplinary committee, but it turns out that they were puppets, and Nagita turned out to be Harame. Of course, of all people, it turned out to be Harame, and that's where things got bad, because pretty much Harame told her that Ryuko is Harame's puppet, and she can pretty much do whatever she wants to do because Ryuko is going to stand up for the helpless, which is in her nature, and Harame used that to her advantage. So she's like, well, she started trying to fight Ryuko, and Ryuko was holding back, of course, because she was more concerned about not being able to control herself. So Ryuko, being Ryuko, was still fighting, but she wasn't fighting to her full extent, and Harame used that to her advantage and pretty much shredded Senketsu. Like, she cut up Senketsu. So now Ryuko doesn't have Senketsu anymore, and Satsuki came up out of nowhere and was like, pretty much was about to murk Harame if she hadn't left, but Harame left in a flash. Like, she moves way too fast for my liking. Anyways, and then Satsuki looked down at Ryuko, like, laying on the ground in the pile of Senketsu, and was like, how disgraceful. But anyways, So Senketsu is gone, and the raids are about to happen. And Ryuko, I don't even know what's gonna happen now. Like, I don't know how this is gonna work out if Ryuko doesn't even have Senketsu anymore, because she's had Senketsu since the first episode. Well, since the story even started. So I'm concerned. I don't know what in the world is gonna happen, but I would like to know what y'all think is gonna happen in the next episode, because it is getting pretty good. I am happy that they did this episode. I'm happy that they did this in this episode, because it makes me want to watch Kill la Kill even more, because the show is already awesome. But anyways, that was pretty much the end of the episode. I feel like I'm being really long-winded right now, but I would love to hear what y'all think is going to happen in the next episode. Do you think that Ryuko is going to be able to get Senketsu back? Is Satsuki going to take over the world? Is Harume going to come back and try to kill Ryuko? Because Ryuko is probably still going to try to go after Harume, because she has the scissor blade and she's the one who killed her father. But anyways, as always, please remember to comment, rate, and subscribe. And this is TsubakiSwagg saying,